What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to a different perspective. As promised, today we're about to dive into this video, continuing this video that we did of Bob Proctor talking about the law of attraction. And depending on where this video goes, I might continue it on my Patreon. So just be on the lookout, pay attention towards the end of the video. But this video right here, he's going to be diving into something that a lot of us have experienced, and that is the idea that we can think about somebody that we haven't spoken to or haven't seen in a very long time, and the next thing we know, we either get a phone call from them or text message, or we see them somewhere. It's like, yo, what the heck? I was literally just thinking about you. I haven't seen you in 5 years. I was just thinking about you yesterday, and now I'm seeing you. He's gonna explain why that is and how it's not a coincidence when a lot of us think it is. Now, I remember when I was younger, I used to think, I was like, yo, I'm psychic. Yo, I could do this thing with my mind. I could think about somebody, and then I see him. No, he's about to explain why that is, and it might blow your mind. So let's get into this. He's going to talk about some other stuff too that's going to be real beneficial and informative.
It's not an accident if you happen to be wandering down the Champs-Élysées in Paris, or maybe Oxford Street in London, England, and a loved one may be sitting in Colorado Springs, and they're really concentrating. Something has happened at home, and they really want you to phone home. All of a sudden, you get a feeling you should phone home. Now, what did we say feeling was? Vibration. Their thought waves are in resonance or in harmonious vibration on the same frequency as certain cells in your brain.
Crazy.
And as that thought wave of theirs strikes your brain cells, it sets up a vibration in you. You call that a feeling. You've got a feeling you should phone home. And you phone them, they'll say, oh, thank goodness you phoned. We've been wanting to talk to you. Do you think that's an accident? No. Again, it's the same thing when you pick up.
So the reason he's saying you think that's an accident, basically on the law, when it comes to the law of attraction, the law of vibrations, it's stated that everything is connected to everything here on earth. Nothing is still. If you look at a rock underneath the telescope, you will just see multiple particles moving around or vibrating at very high speed. Same thing with metal. Nothing is still and everything is connected. We as human beings are connected to everything and everyone else. That's why we're able to do that.
Up the phone to phone someone. You haven't touched the dial. The phone hasn't rang, and yet the other person's on the other end. We put that off as coincidence.
It's no different than, like myself, I'm able to wake up at the exact same time every morning. It used to be 6:30. Now I go to bed later. So now I wake up at 8 o'clock, 8:03 on the dot every single day. This is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Think about it, you guys.
We laugh about it. It's an absolute law.
It's
you
law.
are in tune with the other person. Now,
I'm in tune with time.
Yesterday morning with a glass of water. In the earliest lesson, we were coming under and talking about these three parts of our personality, and then we related it to energy. I held up a glass of water, and I said, in the state of vibration it was in, the energy was called water. Then we talked about heating the water. We called the same energy steam. It wasn't water any longer. And then we continued to heat the energy, and then we called it air, ether, or gas. It was the same energy. Now, let's let these lines here represent levels of vibration, or we could refer to them a different way, levels of consciousness.
Y'all, listen to this. I was having a conversation with a close buddy of mine last night. We were talking about consciousness. This right here, mind-blowing information when he gets into this diagram.
Now, we're going to take this bottom line and make it a little heavier. We'll put a couple of arrows on it. And then we will write the word self.
Self.
Now, I would suggest that in your exercise book, on the opposite page to the law of vibration and attraction, that you make a drawing like this. Now, underneath, we'll write the word simple. Now, everything below this line is going to be referred to as a simple conscious state. This line is referred, and everything above, as a self stage of consciousness. Now, what we're dealing with are levels of vibration in consciousness. An animal is in a simple state of consciousness. We could have a little dog here on the set, and the dog would know it's on the set, but it doesn't know it knows it. A dog operates, as you and I do, with sensory factors, and they are to help the person communicate with their outside world.
That's interesting. He said you can have a dog on the set, and the dog will know that it's on the set, but it doesn't know that it knows it. That's crazy.
But they're not operating with any intellectual factors.
If you don't understand what that means, you might definitely want to continue to tune in right now to open up your brain a little bit more.
Operate which
Y'all, this video saved my life.
instinct, which is perfect. So the dog knows and yet knows not. It's able through its sensory factors to look at its outside world, but not able to look at its inner world. You and I have the creative ability of looking at our inner world, and we're in what we call a self-conscious state. We are aware of our objective as well as our subjective world. Now, there are many varying degrees of consciousness until you reach the higher state, which is called divine or cosmic. Use whatever word you choose. It's divine or cosmic consciousness.
Oh, that's like Goku in Ultra Instinct, or like Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Like, that's, I would love to be able to reach that level of consciousness. I've told you guys on the other channel, I want to take a break from everything that I know, disappear for like 6 months to a year, go to a Buddhist monk temple somewhere and meditate and just and learn a whole different way of being. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do that, to get me closer to the to that state.
All religions that have maintained their balance over any period of time are founded on the premise that we will one day be one with our Maker. We will reach this higher or divine conscious state. We will be aware of our oneness with this power. Now, you're going to find individuals who have a very low level of consciousness. They're way down here. Therefore,
is that you? A low level of consciousness? Or do you know somebody? I'm pretty sure you know somebody. I literally just got off the phone with one of those people. He's most certainly down there. He's probably under the line of self, and he's down there with simple. Literally.
They have a very low level of what we call awareness.
Yes, very low.
Now, the awareness dictates how that person lives. Whenever I mention this,
very important. Listen to that, you guys. I know for a lot of y'all, it's a lot easier for you to consume this type of information with me being here and watching it with me. Listen to that. The awareness, so important. I couldn't stress it even more. I mean, I can't stress it enough, but he's going to.
I think of the first time I had an occasion to go down to the Loop or downtown Chicago. I was living in Glenview, and I went down the Edens Expressway, and as I was going along Michigan Avenue, I saw people laying right in the gutter. They were absolutely filthy. Now, these people were virtually living in an animalistic state, almost. And you would say, well, they're stupid. No, they're not stupid. Some of these people have degrees. Some may have a doctorate's degree or an MBA. What they have is a low level of consciousness. They could have a highly developed intellect. Know a lot here, but still in a low vibration. They're not living there because they want to. They're living there because they do not know. They are not aware of how to change it.
Think about that. That right there is an answer for a lot of people that have questioned, how are these people homeless? How is it this former doctor or this former lawyer or whoever they are and what they may be, how is it that they're homeless? There's your answer.
You will find that
obviously it's not the same answer for everyone, but it's an answer.
And individuals, some are up in years, some are fairly young, that have a very high level of consciousness. They're not way down here with their consciousness. They have a very high level of consciousness, and they have a very, very high level of awareness.
All right, you guys, I want you guys to pay close attention to the wording, because a lot of people tend to miss certain things that are very key. He said, you see how he got the diagram? He's put the C for the high level of consciousness. He said two things that I think are very, very important. He said there's people up there that are older, and then there's also young people up there as well. Don't be mistaken. Some people be thinking, hey, with over time comes the wisdom and all this stuff. in order to, you know, achieve these high levels of consciousness. No, you can be young and be up there too.
Now, these people have a phenomenal vibration. Their energy, you feel so good around them. There's something about them that you're attracted to. You're not quite sure what it is. You see, you couldn't articulate on it because it's vibration.
You guys, listen, I'm telling y'all, this right here is a big part of the secret to how I am the way I am now. I studied this video in and out, up and down, left and right 100 times. I've watched this video and all the other ones that came along with it. So people wonder how I'm so, you know, a magnet, you know, people really drawn to me, you know, people really like who I am and what I'm about, is because I was down there at the bottom when I first watched this video, but I slowly start to develop and climb my way up this ladder that he's creating here.
A phenomenal vibration. Their energy, you feel so good around them. There's something about them that you're attracted to. You're not quite sure what it is. You see, you couldn't articulate on it because it's vibration. You very rarely see these people upset. You very rarely see them excited or depressed. They have learned how to maintain a magnificent balance.
See, I haven't made it to the top yet. Y'all have seen me upset. Y'all have seen me depressed.
Everything they do, they seem to do very, very well. They're very creative. They know how to get results. They know how to stay on track and not let the suggestions that are coming from their outside world knock them off track. Now, you and I live somewhere between here, and yet know not where. Now, let's suppose a person is on this level of consciousness. The only thing that person could attract is what's on that level or on that frequency.
You hear that? You hear that? The only thing that you can attract into your life is what is vibrating at the same frequency that you are. If you're struggling through life, you're going to attract more struggle. Whether it's people, things, jobs, situations, experiences, you're going to attract more struggle. The higher you vibrate, the better of the thing that you attract.
Consciousness, vibration, frequencies, we're talking about the same thing. If a person is earning, let's say, $25,000 a year, they're not earning 25 because they want 25. They're earning 25 because they are not aware of how to earn 50. If a person suffers...
Think about that. That's 100% facts right there. Like, if you making $25,000 a year, you're making $25,000 not because you want to, because you don't know how to make 50. Because if you knew how to make 50, your ass wouldn't be making 25, right? Right? Right.
With headaches, they're not suffering with headaches because they want headaches. They're suffering from headaches because they're not aware of how to eliminate the headaches. If a person is alone and lonely, they're not alone and lonely because they want to be. They're alone and lonely because they're not aware of how to change it.
That's right.
Now, what you and I are really seeking is a higher level of awareness. And you know, that's what we're gaining as we're studying this material. The more often you watch this, the more you're raising your level of consciousness. Now, what you're really doing is raising your level of awareness. And we're going to get to the point where we're very, very tuned in. We say the law of vibration could be explained in many ways for various purposes. In this seminar, it is our intention to confine it to thoughts, an effort to improve the quality of our life. Now, I'm just going to touch on the first couple of pages, and then John's going to come up and tie this in on this board to goals. Because that's what we really want to know. We want to know, how does reaching the goal and the awareness of vibration, how do they connect? Where's the connection there? Well, the more we understand this, the more we'll understand what I'm saying here, because everything vibrates. So what we want to do is get into harmonious vibration with whatever good we desire.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So think about that. Think about that deeply. He says if you got a goal that you're setting, you have to be aligned with that goal. One thing when I first started studying this stuff is they would say, picture yourself already doing, having, achieving, or accomplishing whatever it is that you have on your mind. Picture yourself already in that. The reason they're saying that is because that aligns you, that gets you in that harmonious state or that vibration, that alignment with that goal, with that thing you're trying to achieve. That's why they would say if there's a car that you really want, like a buddy of mine, he went and sat in a Tesla a couple of months ago. He just got his Tesla last week. He went and sat in that car to get a feel for it. He test drove it to get a feel for what it would be like to own and have this car. So now he owns that car. Same thing, you can do that with anything, whether it's a monetary thing or a different type of goal that you really want to achieve that's more meaningful. That might be something that benefit just not only you, but your family or society, whatever it may be. Put yourself in alignment with it so that you will know or have an idea of what it'll be like to obtain it.
Now, everything is merely in a constant state of vibration, being manifest in all varying degrees of vibration. We have the ability to alter the vibratory rate of anything. I could take and alter the vibratory rate of this lectern. Call it lucite. I could turn it into air, ether, or gas. I did that yesterday with a dollar bill. Just 1 minute it was paper, boom, the next minute it was air. I had the choice. I had the ability to do that because I'm a creative being. I do have dominion over. Well, now we know that with simple little things. Let's use it for higher things. We say with free will and the other many mental factors we possess, in our marvelous mind, you have the co-creative ability to cause vibratory change to take place as you choose. If I'm not feeling good, negative vibration, I can switch the idea in my mind. All of a sudden I'm feeling good, positive vibration.
You hear that? If you're not feeling good, negative vibration, you have the ability to switch that in your mind, positive vibration. What was I telling you guys when I was dealing with my depression or the spark of my depression trying to sneak back into my life a couple of weeks ago? I told you guys that same thing. I know that I have the ability to turn a switch off in my head and make these negative thoughts go away. I knew that I had that ability, but I was also at that time allowing myself to be in those emotional states and to feel what it was that I was feeling. I purposefully was allowing myself to do so. But he couldn't have been more right. You do have that ability to turn that switch on and off. Because you are the one that thought those ideas in the first place. Well, guess what? You are the one that can also unthink them too. Just as quick as you thought them. Just as quick as you turned them on, you could turn them off.
How's that controlled? It's controlled by the various ideas that I will choose to entertain from time to time. I'll build here and plant here.
That's
because
right.
Whatever goes in here dictates the vibration my mind body is in. And we must understand mind body are one and the same, not two. Not two. Now with free will, reason is one intellectual factor, will is another intellectual factor. Reason gives us freedom, and the will gives us the ability to lock into an idea and control our vibration and stay in the vibration we must be in to attract something that's already here. It's like the way to fly the airplane was already here. We say the lack of ability to exercise this tremendous power for good is caused by ignorance.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Now, some people might take that as a negative thing. Oh, he just said I was ignorant. No. To say that you're ignorant to something doesn't mean that you're ignorant. It means that you lack understanding of this particular thing. If you don't know how to do what it is that he's talking about, I'm about to sound Canadian. He's talking about, if you don't know how to do what it is that he's talking about, it's because ignorance. You lack the understanding of how to do so. Learn this stuff and you won't lack that understanding anymore. Look, people want to know what's the steps that they can go through and take in order to become better or be in the best position to be the best person they can be for themselves and their family. This is the stuff that I went through. If you're going to ask me, I'm going to show you exactly what I went through, the exact stuff that I learned, the books I read, the seminars and webinars and stuff that I listened to, and we're going to have the discussions. If you want to go through it, you got to apply the information though.
Now remember I put knowledge over here?
Yeah.
And I said, through study, you develop understanding. Let's look at the polar opposite. Through ignorance, a person gets into a state called worry or doubt.
Now, I've already done this video. Go on my channel, check it out. We already covered this portion of it. So, you guys, what do y'all think? Y'all think he was right with the stuff he was saying? I believe it all, 1,000,000%. It helped develop me into the man that y'all see before you. Y'all came to this channel. Y'all clicked on this channel for a reason. Y'all subscribed to this channel for a reason. This is a different perspective. This channel wouldn't exist if it wasn't for this video right here and the information that I have learned from it and applied. So with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.